Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to F1 25. Finally, here we are for the first ever track guide. Oddly enough, back in F1 24, we also started off with Spa-Francorchamps as the first setup. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of learning to do. You'll see my inputs are sort of all over the place. It's been a good few months since I've touched the games. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of learning, a lot of getting used to the new handling and whatnot. But otherwise, I think we have pretty much figured out what is the fastest way in the game right now. Or at least for now, until Codis decide to change something again. You never know, right? In the background, you can see I'm just going through an outlap very, very slowly, relatively slow, to not overheat the tires, right? I'm not sure exactly what are the tire temperatures should be running at. From what I remember, this C4 tires, they run around 75 to 95, if I'm right. And yeah, you don't want them to overheat during the hot lap. So try to keep it between 75 to 80 during your out lap. And then just go ham with the qualifying lap and destroy your tires for the lap time. And also, for reference, you will also see that the previous lap time that I set in this Grand Prix qualifying, it was set using only Hotlap ERS. And this final lap will show you how powerful using the overtake mode correctly is going to gain you easily a second around here. Now to start off your lap, run wide on the exit, and just use up as much as possible of the overtake ERS until this line, the start finish line, because once you cross the line, the green little bar, right, it's going to reset. The ERS usage is going to reset. Now turn it back to medium. For the rest of the lap, it will turn it out here and there. At 100 meter board, this is going to be your first ever braking zone, and brake at the 100 meter down to third gear for the entry. You can stay tight or you can go a little wider. Both way works. Just find out whichever works for you. As long as you get a good exit out of here, keep the car straight on the exit and full throttle and ERS on, the overtake ERS on up till 80%, and then get ready for a rouge and ready on. And halfway through a ready on, turn on your ERS up till 60% again. Use your DRS also. Make sure you use that, and prepare for the braking zone here at the end of sector 1. You want to bring your car over to the left hand side onto the red and yellow curb here, and brake around 60 meters or 70 meters in the race usually. And for the entry in the first corner, the fifth corner here, take as much curb as possible. Even though you're on a very low ride height, it doesn't bottom out. So take as much as you can. Sacrifice a little bit of speed here, which will help you to open up this next left-hander. Again, go only half on the curb, and play around with the throttle to maximize your lap time. You'll be around in the middle of the track. And for this next right-hander, you can actually turn in quite early. Take a lot of that inside curb, but not too much. Try not to touch that gravel part. And that will help you to rotate the car on the exit. And once you're on the exit, avoid going any further than this, because it's going to drag the car to the left, and that can invalidate your lap time. And now down into Rivage, I think that's the corner name. Brake at the start of the red and yellow curb again, and it's a downhill corner, so it's going to be understeery on the entry. And you will notice there's these 3 green strips here. I use that as a reference, the second and the third one, to form a double apex of some sort. Once I reach the third green strip, that's why I start to pick up full throttle again, and try to keep the car to the middle or more to the right. And right around here, the AWS sign, or the start of that left exit curb, you just need to downshift and throw the car into the corner, gain as much time on entry, a little bit of overtake as well if you need to. And now for Puhon, turn in right after this 50 meter or before that little guard post up ahead, and just gently guide the car in. It's going to turn in very nicely, and a bit more overtake ERS up till the braking zone for the next chicane here. You need to start braking right around the start of this curve again. So down to 5th gear or 4th gear, whichever you prefer. Here as well, you can use this green strip as a reference to start picking up the throttle again. Stay tight to the right, but don't touch the curb. And the same thing for the next left-hander. Stay tight, but don't touch the curb. But I took it to the next level, right? You should be a lot closer to the left-hand side, which will allow you to pick up the throttle much sooner and go flat out much sooner. And yeah, you don't need to use battery here actually. But either way, prepare for this braking zone because it's probably the most important one. It's going to set up the next two right-handers to allow you to carry all the speed down the straight. And down to 5th gear or 4th gear, whichever you prefer. I prefer 4th. And you can take... Oh, hang on. What's happening with this clip? Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, you can take a bit of that inside curve to help rotate the car, but don't take too much. On the exit here, you will feel like the car is going to understay into the gravel, but no, as you start picking up the pace, it's going to grip up very nicely. And just trust the car, it will do the job. And use your ERS all the way from the exit. Keep your car to the right hand side initially on the exit and take the shortest possible line to, well, minimize time, right? And once battery is down to 10%, I turn it off, down to medium again, and prepare for the final chicane, which is going to be at the 100-meter board. And if the board is gone, just brake before the curb starts. Down to 3rd gear or 2nd gear, take a lot of that right curb. Don't take too much of the left curb. On the exit, use half of the exit curb. Keep the car straight and just don't care about the wheel spin. Power out, use the rest of your battery. And yes, thanks Mark. Yeah, thanks Charles. I know I was rusty, but you know it's good enough, right? It's good enough that we actually improve a full second around here. Let's see the race director here, right? You can see the previous lap 42.9, current one 41.8. Yeah, 4 tenths in the first sector and 2 tenths in the second sector, 5 tenths gain in the third sector. So that's how powerful ERS mode is. Just don't use Hotlap. It's just a wasteful button over there, right? And yeah, while we're loading into the next part, if you love this track guide so far, or if you like to suggest any improvement, leave it in the comments. Let's go into the setup here. First off, for the race, use the same amount of fuel as the laps. So 22 laps of fuel. It'll be just nice. And you'll be running in DRS a lot, so you can actually underfuel by half also if you need to. Tire strategy, the best one, the safest one is medium to hards. Pit around lap 8, 9 or 10. The earlier the better, right? To get an undercut. For the setup, I am running 2.0 for the wings. In qualifying, I actually ran 3.0, sometimes 2.0, depending on how you feel on that day, right? Honestly. Yeah, transmission 90, 100, 30, 100 just works well. 30 off throttle keeps the car quite stable in the high speed corners. Minimum suspension geometry as always. And suspension is where you can fine tune the car to your liking. Just remember here around Spa, you cannot go too low on the front right height. Minimum 22, but you need to run a full stiff 41 suspension. If you want to soften the front suspension, you need to run at least 23 or 24 front right height. And that's going to be the safest way around here without losing time on the straights or bottoming out. The rear suspension, I like to keep it at 1 for now. But you can also try 2, 3, 4, 5. If you need a bit more stability under braking, it helps to prevent locking up of the rear for some reason. Or at least I'm having skill issues with the brake. Keep the rear right head at minimum. You can go up to 41, 42 around here if you need a bit more compliance on the curbs. But otherwise, 40 is just nice. As for the anti-roll bars, I'm keeping the front at 1 to keep it soft, giving me more grip in the high-speed corners. You can increase it a little bit if you feel the car is too pointy, right? But yeah, with this setup, it's a little bit on the safer side, not aggressive enough yet. We're still early in the game. As for the rear suspension, the rear anti-roll bar, you can actually run it at 21 if you really want to. It's going to give you a lot more rotation on the rear, and also a lot more oversteer and possibility of spinning out. Yeah, that's a thing. But if you decide to do that, make sure you adjust the front anti-roll bar, increase it to the point where you feel like the car is giving you enough stability without compromising your rotation. It's always going to be a compromise anyway. What suits you may not suit me, right? So try it out. I cannot tell you this is the best. No one knows, right? Yeah. So that's how you're going to be adjusting the anti-roll bars. If you get some high-speed understeer, sometimes you notice you can actually increase the rear anti-roll bar, and or you can even increase the front wing a little bit. But I generally recommend you to increase the rear anti-roll bar, especially if if you're going through like the funnier chicane, right? You get a little bit of high-speed understeer when you're going on throttle. Increasing the rear anti-roll bar, it's going to help you to rotate the car even more on entry, and on the exit, it's going to help you to straighten out the car much faster because, well, it's already rotated enough, if that makes sense, right? And there you go. Let's move on to the brakes. Quite standard here. You can adjust the brake bias as per your liking. Use higher amount for heavier braking, like the final chicane and turn 1. Everywhere else, you can use a little lower, like 53 or 52. Again, personal preference. As the race goes on, your tires are going to start wearing out. The rears are also going to wear out more than the fronts. So push the brake bias to 55 or 56 so that your car doesn't spin out, lose the back end on braking zones. And the tire pressures, well, quite a lame way to set it up. Maximum tire pressures is the way to go so far, at least in Spa, right? Because you're running a very low downforce, and it's a very high speed track also, you need stability from the tires. So maximum tire pressures is going to give you exactly that. If you need more grip during qualifying, you can drop the pressures a little bit. But I found it to be about the same actually, right? So just use whatever you like, as long as you're not overheating the tires, which hopefully we find what the values are will be pasted in the chat. Yeah, there we go. Recap the setup: 2030, 90, 30 or 130. Minimum suspension geometry: 39.1 suspension, 1.5 anti-roll bars, 23.40 ride height, 100 brake pressure, 53, 54 or 55 brake bias, and maximum tire pressure for any situation. What if it rains, right? It's a mixed race. What do you do? Just simply increase the downforce initially in qualifying, so that when it rains in the race with park permit turned on, you'll have a car that's decent to drive in both conditions. You don't want to go any higher than 4 or 5 rear wing in the mixed conditions. So yeah, but if it's fully wet, you can go even higher like this: 8 rear wing, 10 rear wing, whichever you prefer, right? It's kind of sketchy to drive in the rain with low downforce. Anyway, there you go. That's everything. If you need anything, leave it in the comments. I'll leave you with the full speed hot lap to enjoy. Take care, everyone. See you next weekend for Hungary. Yeah, bye bye.
excellent lap. We're all very, very pleased with that one. Nice work. Come on, I'll see you back in the pits.
The lap was good, honestly. There wasn't much more.